guys, today it's time for my most anticipated releases for the second quarter of 2018. So today I'm going to talk about all of my anticipated releases for April, May and June. So I'm sorry this video is a little bit late. Normally I try to upload it before that quarter actually starts, but as you might know, March was pretty stressful for me, and then when I had my break I really was not in the mood to film this kind of video because it is a lot of work, it takes a lot of preparation, and so I just wasn't really in the mood. But, you know, obviously we're not that far into April, everything is fine. So yeah, I once again have already tried to shorten my list. I don't even know how many I have. I just know that I have a lot to talk about today. As always, I will keep it short. I will keep it to whatever has intrigued me personally about the book. And as always, I will leave links to all of these on Goodreads so you can check out proper synopsis if something sounds kind of interesting to you. So first off, I have two releases that came out on April 3rd. The first one is The Summer of Jordi Perez by Amy Spalding. I have already read this because I had an arc of it and I did a full-length review. This is a YA contemporary about a fat gay girl, and it is a really enjoyable YA contemporary that I would definitely recommend. And then also Grey Sister by MacLeod came out April 3rd. This is the sequel to Red Sister and the second book in the Book of the Ancestor trilogy, I want to say. I read Red Sister last year and really enjoyed it. I will probably wait a little until I pick up Grey Sister because first of all I want to reread Red Sister before I do so, and I want it to be a little bit closer to when, you know, the third book comes out. So I don't think this is something that I will read very soon, but it's still a release that I was very highly anticipating and I have heard so many great things about it already, so I'm incredibly happy. Next I have two releases that come out April 10th. The first one is Space Opera by Catherine M. Valenti, and all I know about this one is that this is a science fiction novel that's kind of titled Eurovision in Space, which is absolutely amazing and really all I need to know about it. I'm incredibly excited. And then also April 10th is Past Tense by Star Spider. This is, I think, a YA contemporary and the main character is a queer girl. I think she has been in love with her best friends for like years, and one day she comes home and her mother says that, you know, she has kind of lost her heart and her mother thinks she is dead. So I think it is a contemporary and I am just guessing, like I have no validation of that at all, but I'm kind of guessing that it might be about a mental illness that that mother has and the main character having to deal with that. But I might be off. It might be a paranormal twist in there. I have no idea. Definitely I was drawn to it because of the queer character, but I think actually if it does talk about like the mental illness of the mother, I think it's gonna be incredibly interesting. Not saying that it's not gonna be interesting if there is a paranormal aspect to it, but I think I will enjoy it more if it's about like mental illness. Then on April 24th we have Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertelli. This is kind of a companion sequel to Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda, and this is from Leah's point of view, and Leah is bi, Leah is fat. Absolutely cannot wait for this one. I mean, looking at the fat rep in the upside of Unrequited, I think that's just gonna be great. I cannot wait to kind of explore Leah's story. She was someone that I really liked in Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda, but that I also think did not really get a good representation in Simon. I think that she was kind of portrayed as an annoying character, not knowing her thoughts and feelings and kind of being able to look into her head. I think a lot of the things she said or did seemed annoying or seemed just like not really relatable, but I think actually I was kind of able to relate to some of the things, kind of thinking I would have reacted in a similar way. So I'm just so excited that we're able to read from her perspective. I think she's gonna be an amazing main character. Then on May 1st we have Ship It by Britta London. This is about a queer girl who writes fanfiction about this kind of non-canon male ship, and she actually at a panel or something asks one of the actors about, you know, if there might be a relationship between these two characters. Like, he's the actor who plays one of these characters and he kind of laughs about it and does not take her seriously. A lot of it could be potentially really good, and I mean, we have had cases before in real life where actors were kind of laughing about, you know, their characters being same-sex relationships. But also it could end up being incredibly problematic because this kind of clip of her asking this question and the actor laughing about it kind of gets viral. So the company who does the show invites her to kind of go on tour with them or something to, you know, be like no, we support the LGBT community, blah 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 blah. And I don't know, I feel like some weird shit is gonna go down. So I think this has a lot of potential, but I think it could go incredibly wrong. Then there's 2 releases on May 3rd. The first one is I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. I think this is from 2 point of views, and one of them is like the guy from a boy band, and the other point of view is a girl that's a fan of that boy band. It sounds very fandomy. I think it has a queer main character. Even though I didn't love Solitaire by Alice Oseman and I haven't read anything else by her, I do still trust her, and I think especially when it comes to fandomy kind of things, I think she will do really, really well, so I'm incredibly excited for this one. And then also on May 3rd we have The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. And I think this is the first fantasy book that Louise O'Neill has ever written, and it is a retelling of The Little Mermaid, and in good old Louise O'Neill fashion it's gonna be incredibly feminist. I am very excited about this, and I love The Little Mermaid retellings, but I am also not sure what feminist retelling of it will entail. I hope it's not gonna be one of those cases where we will just leave out the romance, or she will just like not be interested in the guy anymore, and that's just gonna make it feminist. I trust Louise O'Neill with what she does. I loved the other 2 books that I read by her, so I do think that it's gonna be well done. I'm just saying I'm like a little bit cautious. Then on May 8th we have The Queen Underneath by Stacey Filak, and this is one where I'm just gonna read you the first part of the synopsis because I literally do not know how to put this into my own words. It just sounds really cool. The above and the under have a tenuous truce that is shattered after the death of both their respective rulers. Gemma, the new queen of Under, must throw history aside and team up with Tolan, the heir to the above throne, in order to take down a power that seeks to rule them all. Their group of rebels is comprised of an assassin, a sex worker, and a palace servant from above, and we follow their unique perspectives as they are forced to question previously held beliefs. This sounds amazing to me. The perspectives we're gonna read from, the whole conflict in there, I just think everything about this sounds incredibly intriguing and I cannot wait. Then we have 3 May 15th releases. The first one is Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a YA contemporary that I have heard so many amazing things about already. This is about a girl whose brother is accused of rape, and I think it deals a lot with dealing with these accusations when they are made against someone who you love and who you trusted. And I have heard, as I said, great things about it. I think it's gonna be very, very powerful, and I do think the main character is also queer. I don't know, I think this is gonna be hard-hitting but amazing. Then also on May 15th I have Nothing Happened by Molly Booth. This is a YA female retelling of Much Ado About Nothing, and I have heard mixed things about it so far. I think that the main romance, like the female romance, is not between Benedict and Beatrice, but between the other characters. So that definitely has me less excited than I initially thought, but I'm still very excited. You know, female romance, Shakespeare retelling. And then finally on May 15th we have Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence Gonzalez. This is a YA contemporary that I think is a little bit like darker and more angsty because it's about a girl who has an eating disorder, and I think she falls for an older girl in like ED rehab. It's definitely queer, which is what initially drew me to it, but I just really hope that it talks a lot about like mental illness, and I think it is about like identity and finding your identity through, or like not through mental illness as in through with the help of mental illness, but just like while you're going through mental illness and being a teenager, still finding your identity. I hope this is done well because I think it could be incredibly important, but it could also go very wrong. Then I have 3 releases on May 22nd. The first one is Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley. I love when I write down names so that I can't read them. This is a YA contemporary romance that takes place in theater. all that I need to know. I have heard some good things about it, so I'm very excited. Also on May 22nd we have Few Reborn by Claire Legrand. This is a YA fantasy that is told from 2 perspectives, and it's like a generational story. So there's one point of view and the other one is like a couple of 100 years back. I have heard some great things about it, but also some not so great things. It seems to be a book that you either love or hate. I have an arc of it, so I want to read it soon. I have also heard that one of the main characters is bi, which I did not know before requesting the arc, so that definitely makes me very excited. And I'm just in general excited to like kind of have my own opinion of it and see what I think about it. And then also on May 22nd we have The Brightsiders by Jen Wild. I am so fucking excited about this. First of all, the cover is amazing. Second of all, I loved Jen Wild's Queens of Geek. Third of all, the main character is a queer lady drummer. That's all that I need to know. I do not give a shit about anything else. This is gonna be about like being in a band and about relationships in bands, and I just cannot wait. I am so fucking excited for this one, and I would give like 1/2 of my lung for an arc of this. Oh my god. Then on June 5th we have Dear Rachel Meadow by Adrian oh my god, another name. Keeper? I have no idea. You will see it on the cover. This is another YA contemporary about a girl who writes letters to Rachel Meadow. Like, she wrote an email once and actually got a reply to it. So then she kind of almost uses it as her diary and writes letters to Rachel Meadow, but not actually sending them. And yeah, I don't really know what to expect from this one, if it's gonna be like a sad one or a happy one, but I think it just sounds incredibly exciting. Then on June 12th we have Final Draft by Riley Redgate. This is a YA contemporary about a girl who is a writer who is, you know, still in school, but she really enjoys writing, and then she gets a new creative writing teacher who really like pushes her too much, and she kind of, you know, wants to live up to her teacher's expectations, and she kind of goes too far while trying to achieve what that teacher wants from her. So I definitely think it will deal a little bit with like mental illness, so I am incredibly excited about that. I really hope that it focuses a lot on this kind of narrative, that in order to be a creative person or in order to make art, you have to kind of embrace your mental illness, and you kind of have to be sick and kind of not want to let go of your mental illness. And I really hope that it shines a light on how problematic that narrative is. That's really something that I want from this book. And on June 19th we have The Unbinding of Memory Reade by Miriam McNamara. This is a YA fantasy, just kind of female pirates. It's a female romance. It's all that I need in my life. And finally, on June 26th, we have Drumroll Please by Eliza Jen Bigelow. This is actually a middle grade novel. I think this is the first time I'm putting a middle grade novel on this list. This is about another girl that is a drummer. I think actually she becomes a drummer throughout this novel, and her friend kind of wants her to go to band camp, and you know, she decides to just play the drums for that band camp. And then in that camp, she realizes she has feelings for another girl. And honestly, I'm getting emotional just thinking about this story, this middle grade story of this girl. Obviously, girl drummers are like completely normal and a thing that happens, but I feel like it's something that's used as like it's not normal. I think like girls will always have to be like the front girl, and like girls are not the ones who are drumming, like. And then it's also queer. I have an arc of this. I have never before requested a middle grade arc, I think, but this one I simply just knew I had to read it, and even if it's like not gonna be my thing, I think I will just appreciate it for what it would have done for my younger self and what it will do for younger kids that might be queer. I'm so excited, and I hope this book will do so many good things. Anyway, these were all of my most anticipated releases of April, May, and June. As I said, there's some more that I couldn't even mention. There's a couple more that come out in May and June that I have arcs of that I just cannot mention because there's just too many already. But yeah, let me know if you're looking forward to any of these. Thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!